Well, I'm back and better than ever. Sean Palmer here. No idea where Seth is. Oh, here he is, the old man. Now he's the old man. Now he's
Damn. Sorry, I just got home.
As my boss just said to me, welcome to Q3 of your life. So congratulations on that. I don't think I'm getting to 100. So I'm thinking this is probably in the between Q3 and Q4. Like I've already been
like a true corporate guy.
And I'm okay with that, mind you. So we learned a couple of things this week. First of all, we learned that Carly Kamens does watch the show at least once. She had some interesting notes on our last show. Number one, that my belly was sticking out. Congratulations. And two, my fat belly. And number two, the fact that we were a little fuzzy. And that sometimes comes into play when we blur it when we are together. So next time we'll have to not blur the background like I do. And if we don't blur the background, it should be fine. So we apologize to those that watched the show last week. Number one, for my fatness, and number two, for our blurriness.
We weren't going to bring that up because it was your 50th. But apparently my wife had no pretense about that.
None whatsoever. None. But you can no longer say that your wife does not watch the show because she did somehow. I don't know why, but she did. Maybe we should kind of like limit the amount of things we say about Carly if Carly is listening.
Carly's never watching the show again.
What's that?
No, Carly's never watching the show again.
But we do have some shout outs. So shout out to Teo, absolutely, who we hope will watch the show again, and shout out to our new buddy Jason, who we know is watching the show, or at least said he would. And shout out to all those many people that believe that they are going to get permission to go on our baseball road trip this week. the millions and millions of people that believe that they're going to get permission for that show.
Well, the question is, does Jason really need permission?
Jason absolutely does not need permission. But we do know your sister. So while he doesn't need permission, wanting permission is probably a better way to describe his situation. I think the remainder of the people that we did talk to on Friday will probably require some form of consent from their significant others. But we hope we get 3 or 4 people on the trip at least. We are renting an SUV, so we will have the room. It's just a matter of who decides to come. We know that 2 of us, myself and Seth, will be in Cleveland, Cincinnati, Kansas City, St. Louis and Kansas City from August 5th through August 10th. We will have a show that Wednesday from Cleveland before the game, or maybe even at the game. At the game would be rather difficult with our phone, but we might be able to do it. Or we'll do it on Thursday from after the Cincinnati game. We'll figure out a day. But either way, we will be having a show. Okay, so that's the first thing that we found out. The second thing that we found out was that Jason Tatum is kind of important to the Boston Celtics.
Just a little.
Just a little. We also found out that Game 7s take a lot out of you. And it's not a trend. It's actually something that has been documented, that when you play a Game 7 and then come back for a Game 1, it is I think it's like 65% of the teams that win Game 7 do not win Game 1 of the next series, because it just takes that much out of you 2 days beforehand. And we saw that last night in these series. We saw that Cleveland and Detroit both played a Game 7. So one of them had to win and one of them had to lose. But the 76ers came out completely flat. They had nothing to show against the Knicks.
And then playing tonight without Embiid is going to be a problem as well.
I think it would actually – so here's the thing, and call me crazy. Call me crazy. I think they were feeding Embiid in Game 1. I think they were looking to get him to have a good game at the sacrifice of what they kind of do very well. And I think tonight's going to be a really close game. And this is the team that I didn't want to play to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre Drummond is no slacker. Andre Drummond could get 18 boards, and it would not surprise me at all if the 76ers won this game. I do not see this being a blowout whatsoever. Not like the first game. Nowhere close. I think this is the Tyrese Maxey show. I think that's what it should have been all along. And I think you're going to see I'll predict let's go with 113-109 Knicks. 4-point game. Yeah. But I could easily see it going the other way. And the Knicks 1-1 going to Philly.
Way to take a stand, buddy.
Well, I did make a prediction.
By the way, have you talked to Mark Rubin?
Mark is in recovery. Actually, Mark
From the Bruins or from the Celtics or both?
So Mark texted me today, believe it or not. And for those that are unaware, Mark is our super fan from Boston. We'll get back to the remainder of the series. Brad Stevens had a press conference today. The rumors are swirling that there is a potential trade possibility for the Celtics. And we all know that Mark speaks, how do I say this, delicately in the fact that he believes that the Celtics can make any trade in the world and it'll work, and that the other team will make it. This one, I actually think the Bucks would take. And I think would be
along the lines of Brown for Giannis.
Absolutely stupid for the Celtics to do. The Celtics received Giannis. The Bucks received Jaylen Brown, Max Shulga, who I don't know, the 2026 first round, which is number 27, and their 2027 first round. And the only way that this happens, there's two ways. First of all, this means Giannis does not sign an extension with the Bucks, right? I mean, if he signs an extension with the Bucks, this is over. And number two, let's remember, Giannis's extension is about $70 million. So we already say that Jaylen Brown is overpaid at 60. He is. He went from the most underappreciated player in the league to the highest paid player in the league, and he doesn't deserve to be there. If Giannis is giving you 60 games a year, Seth, is Giannis worth 75 million, 70 million? I don't think so.
No.
So now you're capping two guys.
Here is the question, though. Say he signs a 3-year extension with the Celtics.
Sure.
Just make up a number.
Yeah. Well, hold on. But let's not make up a number. Is it a max extension?
Let's say it's at 60. 3 years, 180.
Okay, so starting at 60. First of all, he's eligible for a 4-year, 275. So let's say he signs the same 3-year extension he signed last time, which is 3 years and 186, which is 60 a year. Okay? Yep.
So you now have, with this team,
yep,
your cap is at the same position for all intents and purposes.
You think those two played the same position?
I said your cap.
Oh, your cap is at the same position. That is correct.
How many finals do the Celtics go to?
Well, here's the thing. You're minus 2 first-round picks, right? Mm-hmm. Because you lose. I think Jaylen for Giannis is still not a good trade. Just the two of them. But once you add the stuff, it makes it that much worse. So
if you were the Celtics, would you take Giannis for Jaylen straight up?
No.
Okay.
No. As much as I think that Jaylen and Tatum are similar players, Giannis and Tatum are the same player.
No. Giannis is not a shooter.
Offensively, Brown spreads the floor by his shooting, which Giannis does not have.
Correct.
Okay. Giannis wants to drive, so does Tatum. They both want to play mid-range game. There is no spacing with these two.
Giannis, Tatum is also a three-point. Tatum is an all-purpose scorer, for lack of a better term.
He's Carmelo Anthony. He's a better Carmelo Anthony.
Better rounded.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's a better rounded, but his offensive game is Carmelo Anthony.
I don't know. I don't think of Carmelo as a driver, to be perfectly honest. I just think of him as someone who shoots and shoots and shoots. Did I say he shoots?
You said he shoots.
Okay. Giannis gives you an inside presence. You don't have one at this point, both on the defense and offensive side. I get it because my fear with Giannis is he's 32 years old and he's been playing since he was 18, 12, 13, 14 years in the league at this point.
Yep.
Does the body hold out for 3 years? And that I don't know. Obviously, he hasn't. Now, again, we don't know what he could have come back from this year versus what Milwaukee was. But yeah, I think if you're Milwaukee, you have to take that deal.
If you're Milwaukee, you absolutely take that deal.
Correct.
Even if you're rerouting Jaylen Brown somewhere else.
Yes, because there would be a massive, and that would make a lot of sense, sending him to a team that has a lot of young talent where they can start.
You are absolutely going to hate where I'm sending him, but this is where I'm sending him. I am sending him to either Portland or San Antonio.
Why is San Antonio going to trade for him?
So, would San Antonio, depending on, let's say San Antonio doesn't get out of the round. Well, the problem is both Castle and Castle is up for an extension.
No, he's not. He's in a second year.
No, he's going to be up for an extension. Right. He's got another year, and then he's up for an extension. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You have a lot of young guys. Yeah, I guess you're probably right.
San Antonio makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay. What about Portland? Milwaukee gets back their picks because Portland has them.
I know. So you're not trading Denny.
No, you're trading Shaedon Sharpe.
Shaedon Sharpe, 3 first-round picks for Jalen.
And there's got to be some There's got to be some ballast in there, but yes. So then you basically have gotten 5 first-round picks and Shaedon Sharpe for Giannis. And you got your picks back, which are the most important picks.
Correct. That feels a little bit. I mean, for Portland, that gives you your number one.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen wants JB. Let's be honest; he wants to be a number one, a definitive number one.
Scoop becomes your 6th man.
You have, because Lillard's going to be back as your point guard.
Oh, by the way, Jeremy Grant would be the ballast probably.
Great. They're happy to get rid of him.
No, I'm just saying that's where your money is.
So, I mean, what you're looking at, I'm just thinking of that starting 5. You have Lillard, assuming he has 2 years left, health-wise. You have Lillard, Brown, Denny. You still have Drew Holiday.
You have Donovan Clingan still.
You have Robert Williams. That's a good team.
Yeah.
That is a top 4 team in the West.
I think that might be stretching it, but
forget the Oklahoma City.
Are they better than the Nuggets with that team?
Yes.
Okay, then they're a top 4 team.
I mean, Denver. Let's look at Denver right now. They have 2 players.
Denver's a mess. I get it.
I mean, I'm assuming your number 3 team is Minnesota.
You have to put them there, given what they just did.
They've been wonderful.
Yep.
They play.
They've been awesome to watch. I love watching. They've always
been watching that team.
They're my second team, so I always love watching them. But Wow, I love watching Rudy. Like watching Rudy Gobert is amazing.
That team has gone from like literally Edward centric
Yep.
to really a really tough team.
Yep.
Now, I don't think they can beat San Antonio in a 7-game series.
No, the problem with that team is that unless Anthony Edwards and unless Jaden McDaniels continues his playoffs in the regular season and Anthony Edwards gets better, they are at their ceiling. This is where they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're at their ceiling, unfortunately, because DiVincenzo's hurt.
And they have nothing to trade.
Yeah, this is their team for the next 2 to 3 years.
They have no picks.
Nope. They're going to, Desanu is a nice player. Hopefully he can get healthy.
And hopefully they'll re-sign him. I mean, that's the other thing.
They're going to try.
Right, but I'm saying, like, the problem with the Timberwolves is that they are, I believe, in the second apron or incredibly close to it right now. And they just lost DiVincenzo. So their total cap allocations, by the way, are first in the NBA. First. They're paying the most to anybody in the NBA. They are $16 million into the second apron right now. That is, so next year they have, hold on. Oh, it's in the multi-year. Sorry, it's 24-25. Excuse me. That was last year, I guess. 25-26. Excuse me for that. They are third. I'm sorry. They have $12 million from the second apron. My bad. So they're not in the second apron. I think they got out of it with the Dillingham trade. But $12 million, and remember, they don't have DiVincenzo next year. So they have 45.
Right. They'll be out probably until the playoffs, I'm assuming.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So
right now, DiVincenzo's a free agent after this year, I guess. No, it's
after next year.
Hold on. 26, 27.
Give me 1 second. I'll be back. Give me 2 seconds.
So they have $29 million in the second apron. From the second apron. They have 9 players, including DiVincenzo, on this list. So their starting 5 of Edwards, Gobert, Randall, McDaniels, and Shannon are all there. And they have 1 bench player in Naz Reid. And they have Joan Behringer, their rookie center. They have Julian Phillips, who was a second-round pick, and they have Dante DiVincenzo. They have 9 guys on this team, and they have $29 million from the second apron, Seth. And they have no picks. DeSumo's going to eat up most of that $29 million. He's probably going to get 20, if not 25. First of all, he can hold them hostage. He knows they have nothing. They can't do anything else.
Yep.
So figure that's 25. So they're going to be at $4 million in the second apron, and they still have to fill out the rest of their incomplete cap, which is another $5 million. They're in a lot of hurt. This is where their ceiling is, right here. So unless DeSumo becomes better, playoff McDaniels becomes regular season McDaniels, this is where they are. But I do like the Jaylen Brown if it's a reroute to Portland. I think you're right. And I think that Portland team may be better than this Minnesota team. Maybe.
It's an interesting mix because you have some young players like Scoot, Klingon, I'm forgetting one, and you have the veterans, Brown, Avila, and then Lillard's a little bit older. Like then you have the older Lillard, but that's a nice team. I mean, maybe maybe the owner will pay the head coach more than 1.5 million. You've heard this whole thing that he refuses to pay the head coach.
I did. So they are owed a lottery protected pick from the Bulls through 2028. So they don't get it this year. They'll get it probably next year, maybe the year after. They have the options to swap picks with the Bucks, so they don't get the Bucks picks, so they could take those swaps away and give them back to the Bucks. They've traded their first round pick this year and their 2029 pick for Denny Avdia. So they would have to trade. They have their 2028 pick. They have swaps in 2028 and 2030. They have the Bucks swaps in 2028 and 2030. They have their 2027 pick and their 2031 pick. They could trade those. I mean, look, guys, we're talking ridiculousness, right? I mean,
this is where I go crazy because you're talking 5-6 years into the future. Who the hell can see this far ahead?
Oh, and that goes to another thing. I saw this today, surprisingly. So the amount, and we'll get into this as the NBA draft comes closer, but the amount of underclassmen that declared for the draft is the lowest in almost a decade.
Of course it is. These guys are getting paid $2 to $3 million a year to live the college life.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the lowest since 2003.
Yeah.
71 players have declared. 71.
Why go?
Oh, no. I'm saying the funny part is, Seth, you and I hate this in some ways, right?
Yes.
Because it makes people move around. But at the same time, it inherently puts more talent in college basketball. It keeps
yes and no, but it kills the continuity of it. When you jump from 4 schools in 4 years, yes, there's talent, but there's no way to have any continuity with your team. So I don't know how much better the basketball is.
Well, and that's where it comes down to, do we get to 2 and 3 year contracts, right? And if you can keep 2 or 3, what's that?
For college.
Something you want continuity, that's the way to get it.
But people break the problem is the contracts have no. I mean, the deals they can be broken at any point. So what the hell's the difference?
Well, and that's the thing. You make the contracts with the schools, not with the.
Didn't Mensa make the deal with the school, like a 2-year deal with the school, and then broke it to go to Miami?
Right, but there's nothing right now that what eventually will have to. So there's actually a lawsuit going on right now with the Texas Tech quarterback. I forgot his name. Sorsby.
Yeah.
And I was reading, and do you know the name Jeffrey Kessler?
Yeah, he's the attorney. He's a massive, massive, massive attorney.
He's a massive labor attorney.
Yes.
Okay. So he used to be general counsel for the NFL.
Yeah.
So you're getting to the point of wondering, and I read this somewhere, this is not my idea, this is an idea from The Athletic. I think it was Ivan Manziel said this. You look at why Jeffrey Kessel is the attorney for Sorsby. And because if Sorsby bet on his team, it doesn't matter. This doesn't make a difference. The guy's going to be ineligible. It is fait accompli. It is the
one bar that nobody has broached yet.
Correct. However, is this going to lead to collective bargaining? Is this going to lead to a labor and union of the players? And Seth, if it becomes a labor and union of the players, then those contracts do stand, because then it's collectively bargained.
Yes, but then they're not. Then that kind of leads to the whole. They're not. It's not college. They're just employed.
It's not college now, anyway.
I get that, but there's this mirage or whatever you want to call it that this is college.
Well, the minute that NIL started, it stopped being college.
This is semi-pro,
and I'm not. And to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not against NIL, not one bit. Okay, I'm not. I don't like the effects of NIL. But being able to use somebody's name, image, and likeness that they don't get the benefit, somebody's going to benefit, right?
Yes, and
College,
it makes more sense to be
the student
than the college. I
mean, look, Syracuse has, and I'm just using my school, and Seth could use his. Syracuse has benefited from the name, image, and likeness of Ernie Davis, Jim Brown, Larry Zonka, Derek Coleman, John Wall. I could go on. Dave Bing, right? Billy Owens. I can go. Eton Thomas. I can go on and on and on. Carmelo Anthony. Use another name. Every time one shining moment happens, and you see Carmelo Anthony's face in there from 2003, somebody's profiting. It's just the way of the world. So why should it not be the player? Why should the university make all the money? I'm totally in support of that. The problem that comes with that is the repercussions that we see today, which is I can pay you more. There's a salary, there's a cap on it, $20.1 million. That is ridiculous because guess what? Nobody adheres to it and they find loopholes because anytime there is a rule in college sports, somebody finds a loophole. That's what good lawyers do. That's what I'm paid. That's what I'm paid to do half the time. So I get it. So yeah, I think you're going to get some collective bargaining coming out in a couple of years. And I think this is the start of that. Well, not only me, but obviously Ivan Manziel said the same thing. Okay, let's get back. So we got a way off course. NBA playoffs. You're picking the Knicks over the 76ers tonight and going forward?
Yeah, I think they seem to be in that zone right now. I think it would be hard to pick. I think it would be hard to pick Philly. I would take the Knicks in 6.
This is as good an offensive team as I have seen playing ball since the Golden State Warriors. They are playing.
They've been playing like this for 4 games.
And that's okay. No, but I'm saying the last 4 games, Seth, nothing has gone wrong for these guys on offense. No. Nothing. And the 76ers, if I were them tonight, the unfortunate part is without Embiid, they don't have the fouls to give. But I would be hacking Mitchell Robinson every time he's on the court. Because that, I believe, is the only way that they can win this type of series. They need to do that. Because the minute that has been employed, and it was employed by the Hawks, and then it was employed in game 1, Mike Brown took Mitchell Robinson right out of the game. And that takes him away, the best defensive player that they have. So I would employ that. Okay, let's move on to other series. LeBron looked really good last night. Fortunately, the rest of the team looked like crap.
I was going to say it doesn't matter.
And I will tell you, if you're a Laker fan, you're not going to like this. And you're not going to like what I'm about to say. They played better without Austin Reeves. Much better without Austin Reeves. I think they, much like the 76ers tried to force the ball to Embiid, I think the Lakers are forcing the game to Austin Reeves. And I just think they had found something without him. And that's not to say overall they're a better team. I just think that they were playing better at the time. Luke Kennard looks lost when he comes off the bench right now. He looks like he reverted back to Luke Kennard. Just like Jeremy Lin went back to being Jeremy Lin.
Nice 15 game run of insanity. Look, under the best of circumstances, the Lakers are not most likely not beating Oklahoma City. This is not the best of circumstances.
Oh, I'll make the case to who is beating Oklahoma City even under the best of circumstances.
Yes, but I think they're going to be hard pressed to win a game.
Oh, you think it's going to be a sweep?
I think it's going to be 5.
A gentleman's sweep. Okay. I want to know where that came up, but I love the term. I have no idea where that came up. Anyway, okay. So Cavs Pistons. That was ugly last night. And I like watching ugly basketball. I really do. I like watching teams beat the crap out of each other. But after watching the Raptors play the Cavs and the Pistons play the Magic, I thought that this would be a little better. And Seth, none of this was better last night. I'm not sure you watched that game, but
I saw little bits of it. I mean, the problem is my expectation for the Cavs is you have 4 or 5 players who can really take over games. Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, to a degree, Allen. They've looked like crap in the play. They looked like crap against Toronto. They have not melded. They did not look great against Detroit. And Detroit's playing better, but Detroit certainly did not look good against Orlando.
No.
And Detroit has a limitation based on their inability to score.
So 2 things. So Jared Allen played very well in Game 7, right? We had both commented on that. Jared Allen was in foul trouble from the very beginning last night. So I think he played 16 minutes. Not a lot of time to see Jared Allen. Again, coming off a brutal 7 games with that Magic team, who basically beat the crap out of them.
Yes.
Is it fair to they didn't play the Magic. They played the Raptors.
Yeah.
They played the Raptors. Is it fair to, first of all, you're right in the fact that the Cavs just haven't melded. They used 11 players last night by the second quarter. Kenny Atkinson is still mixing and matching to see what works. And Donovan Mitchell, you have to put a little bit on him. He had a decent game, but decent games from Donovan Mitchell don't win in the playoffs.
No.
You need to match Cade Cunningham. And congratulations to Cade and Jalen Duren, who, played 3.5 quarters of absolute crap. And then in the last 5 minutes decided, if I drive and dump off to the big guy, he might be able to dunk the basketball. And that worked 4 consecutive times, and they won the game. And good for them. But you are seeing, Seth, I'll take the Knicks over either one of these teams.
As the way they're playing now, as would I. I'm going to take Cleveland because I really have little confidence in Detroit's ability to score. Especially Robinson can't shoot. Harris is not going to keep this going. It's the best he's ever played. So
that's the key, right? Tobias Harris is the key to this. Tobias Harris and Asar Thompson are the key to this series.
Well, Thompson's going to be is on the defensive end, not the offensive.
Correct.
If you can get 18 to 20 out of Harris a game, you're probably winning. Harris has never been that player. He's kind of been just the mid-tier small forward. He was fantastic against Orlando in the last couple games, especially Game 7. But again, Cleveland just has been mediocre as hell to beat a nothing special Toronto team in Game 7. And you and I watched it. Other than Jared Allen, nobody showed up for that team in that game.
Yeah.
And apparently it's just me. How does that work? But when you have all these stars, you would hope that led by a coach who is as good as Atkinson, Harden, Allen, and I'm not getting it. I'll let Sean come back with all the salary issues with that team going forward. But it doesn't feel neither team feels overly comfortable. Detroit just feels like they're a player away. I don't know who that player is. I mean, it's a scorer. Their defense, Cunningham is an all pro. Thompson is a superstar. Is a superstar. But Duren is really good, who they're going to have to resign for a boatload. I don't feel comfortable with either of these teams right now, to be perfectly honest.
So for an average player, which we just described Tobias Harris as, you want to guess at how much money this average player has made over his career?
$250 million.
$302 million.
Must be nice.
Sorry, 300 million and $300,500,000. Sorry, I gave him too much. He's actually, I believe, yeah, he's a free agent after this year again. Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent. He's earned 26.6 this year. Oh, to be 6'10" and in the right spot at the right time, which is when, remember who the 76ers picked Tobias Harris over?
I don't.
Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy was a second-round pick, wasn't he?
No, they let Jimmy go to Miami.
Oh, correct. As a with against Embiid's wishes, yes.
They let Jimmy go to Miami, and they signed Tobias.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking draft.
No. You're right. Jimmy was a second-round pick. That is true. But they signed Tobias to a 4-year, $160 million contract instead of Jimmy Butler.
That's just wild.
That's pretty wild. But okay, so we have a couple more series. One more series, excuse me. So in the West, right? So we have San Antonio losing to Minnesota in game 1. I will tell you, I fell asleep. I did not watch any of that game.
Oh, Minnesota was.
I know. I woke up
I did watch that. They were brutally tough.
I'm waiting for tonight, but I can't pick Minnesota to win 2 in a row tonight. No. I can't. No. I can't. So I think they go home 1-1. Again, I'm not going to pick them in the series, Seth. I can't. They're not talented enough. They don't have the depth.
Yeah, I was going to say their starting 5 are talented enough.
Correct.
They're 2 or 3 people short on the bench. You have to be able to go 8 deep. And although Terrence Shannon looked really good.
When your backup point guard, well, Shannon's starting now. So when your backup point guard is Mike Conley or Bones Highland, both of which would be 10th men on most teams, and that's your 6th man, well, 6 or 7 because Naz Reid is 6 or 7. That's a problem. That you have a 38-year-old guy running around against Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep up with him. Not many point guards can keep up with him to begin with, but certainly not Mike Conley.
No. Wemby had a triple-double with blocks, which was pretty amazing.
Of which 3 were probably goaltends, but sure.
Yeah. Still, he had 12. He had 9 other ones. But you're looking at a team. Look, Minnesota will tough it out some of these games. I agree. I think San Antonio wins in 7.
Yeah, 7. 7. So you think Minnesota's going to win 2 more? Okay.
I think they're going to win 2 of 3 at home.
Okay.
I think they'll gut their way to 1, and Edwards will carry them to another.
Fair.
I also say, look, San Antonio has no playoff experience at all, and that does come into play here.
Oh, 100%.
But San Antonio is younger, faster, more athletic, and more talented, and have the best player in the series. Minnesota is. I mean, look, you have that starting in. Although Reed starts on the bench, but Gobert, Reed, McDaniel, Randall, those are men, and that is not a comfortable matchup for San Antonio.
No, because Gobert is Gobert knows Wembanyama. I mean, he's known him since he was 13 years old, right?
Yes.
Number 2, he can bang with him, which many people cannot. He's going to push him out to the 3-point line. So
you can live with Wemby shooting 3-pointers.
Well, and that's it, right? If the Spurs hit over 40% of their 3-pointers, they will win.
The series is over, but that's well above the average team. And they're not a great 3-point shooting team to begin with.
Right, but that's my point. If they shoot over 40%, they win. If they shoot under 40%, I think they lose the series.
If that is your bar, then you're picking Minnesota.
Well, I haven't picked anybody, but sure.
No, if that's the bar, if the bar for you to make a determination is a 40% average from three-point land, how many teams this year, take a look, how many teams this year shot 40% from three-point line? I'm going to guess 0. Nobody shoots 40% from three-point
land. One person shot 40%.
How many teams?
No. I know that. Seth, I came up with the wrong. I probably none if I had to guess, right? I mean, you're probably right. Probably none. 3-point percentage. The Knicks are shooting 42% right now. For the highest is the Nuggets shot 39.6. So nobody shot 40. Okay, but that's maybe that's my point. Is because if Gobert can push Wemby out to the 3-point line, then, and that's all Wemby is shooting. Who else is shooting? They don't shoot mid-range. Where else is this coming from?
I mean, you have some 3-point. Excuse me. So you have some mid-tier shooters. Like
sure.
Fox and Harper are not 3-point shooters. Like they can shoot it, but they're not 3-point shooters.
No, I agree. That's my point.
Right.
So they shot as a team this year, San Antonio. I think we're agreeing here. They were 15th overall. They shot 35% from 3.
Yeah.
Okay. They made. I'm just going down as far as attempts, right? So, I mean, as far as attempts are concerned, they shot, they were 14th. They shot 37 attempts a game. I think they're going to shoot more than that.
They're going to have to.
Right.
And that's why I think both of us think this is a really awkward matchup.
I agree. That's what I was saying.
You have 4 really big guys down low. They're going to have it's going to be very difficult to penetrate.
Yep.
And you have some decent defenders. Reed's a good defender. McDaniel's a good defender. Edwards is a good defender. And Gobert is an all-world defender. Now, they're not going to be able to go out on the perimeter on these guys.
Well, and that's my point. They're going to push them to the perimeter. That's it. Right. The only perimeter guy is McDaniel's. I mean, McDaniel's guards the best player on their team.
Yeah, but Edwards is a good defender. Edwards is actually a good defender.
Agreed. Agreed.
So they're one player away from really being a problem.
And where's the unfortunate part is that one player doesn't exist.
The best case is Desanu becomes that player, but
either Desanu becomes that player, they draft that player 30th over 26th overall,
right, which is unlikely.
Get a Desmond Bane type player, right? I mean, he was drafted 30th. So you get a Desmond Bane 3-point shooter, right, from a smaller school that happens to work out. Or you package DiVincenzo's salary to a team that doesn't want is Portland calling? I mean, they're cheap. I mean, you could write off that whole $14 million due to insurance and get Scoot or something like that.
We're
right?
not shooting Scoot.
No. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, that's what try and get like in Anthony Simons, but
or
like
you get a Tobias Harris.
What'd you say?
Or you get a Tobias Harris.
But the problem is they also need a point guard.
Yeah.
And look, they've tried a bunch of different ways.
Yep.
That's why they're going to have to sign Desanu. They have no choice.
They tried Tyus Jones for a while. I mean,
didn't work. Conley's a good player, but too old.
Well, part of the deal with that team is that Anthony Edwards is your ball handler, and he's your dominant ball handler. So when you say I want a point guard, what do you really want? You don't want a point guard. You want to defend. You want a guy that can defend.
You want a 3-and-D combo guard. A 3-and-D combo guard.
And those are very hard to find.
No, most of the ones you find, most 3-and-D people you find are wings. Right. That's kind of why I threw Simons out there. But I mean, he's in Boston. I know.
He's not in Boston.
He's in Chicago.
He's in Chicago.
Well, Chicago will probably trade him for the $14 million exemption.
He's actually a free agent this year too. So every
They can't sign anybody. But so what do you think happens in this series?
So you've made me rethink.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I do too. I think they lose in 6. I don't think it goes 7. I think if it goes 7, I think Minnesota actually wins the series, but I don't think it does. I think they would beat San Antonio on the road in 7 if it went 7, because that just means they've solved it. And I don't think there's a plan, Seth. There is. Force them to shoot threes. That's the plan. The question is, can they hit them? And if they hit 35 to 40%, I know I said 40, but I'll bring it back down to 35.
I'm not busting your balls on.
If they hit 35 to 40%, they will win.
Yes.
If they miss 35 to 40%, they will lose.
That's a tough bar.
I know. I agree. It's a tough bar, but Rudy, generally you can say Wemby can dominate the middle. I don't believe in this series he can dominate the middle. I just don't.
No. I mean, he had 12 points last night, or 2 nights ago, excuse me.
I think you're going to see a lot of Luke Cornett also on the court, because Luke Cornett is a great three-point shooter. And I think they could spread the court with him. I think you're going to see a lot of the lineup. I mean, Stephen Castle is going to drive and kick rather than drive. I think you're going to see actually Rudy guard Stephen Castle and not guard Wembanyama, because what's that?
I said, that's funny. I get it.
He's gonna learn. What's that?
Is Rudy Gobert a Hall of Famer?
Yes, 100%.
Because pretty much if you're putting Ben Wallace in,
100%. Rudy Gobert is the best defensive center
since Ben Wallace?
Since Dikembe. He's better than Wallace. He's a better player than Wallace. Agreed. I think he's a better defender than Wallace. The only thing he doesn't have that Wallace has is a championship. That's it. Let me put it this way. And this may be the wrong way to say it, but I'm going to anyway. When Ben Wallace was playing, would you have traded 4 first-round picks for Ben Wallace?
No.
Right, but you traded 4 for Rudy Gobert.
Not sure you should have, but yes.
I agree with that. But I'll tell you, without Rudy Gobert, this team doesn't work the way it does. Tim Connelly understood that.
That's why Dallas made a serious run at hiring him.
Correct. And by the way, congrats to Dallas. They may not have gotten Tim Connelly, but Mozzie is a great hire. They must have paid him a boatload of money to get him down to Dallas. But that is an absolutely great hire. And now you're going to see no Mark Cuban at all.
That is a weird team right now.
Why is that a weird team? Why is Dallas a weird team?
Because you have intermittent parts of talent plus overpaid plus youth. You have 2 centers.
Yep. Both are young.
Who are young. Mm-hmm. You have hopefully a cornerstone player in Flag, which it seems to be, on one end. And then on the other end, you have Klay Thompson, who's be helpful on another. He belongs in Detroit right now.
Yep.
You have Kyrie, who comes back, and what do you do with that? And do you want? And then you're going to have what do you call it? You have a lot. You're going to have a lottery pick,
which the lottery is tonight, by the way.
That's what I was going to ask. When is it? Is it tonight?
I believe it is tonight.
And it's a very unique team.
The lottery is it is not tonight. It is May 10th.
Well, you were close.
At 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock? That's not when it's going to be televised.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Sunday at 3. I was like, it can't be on a weekday at 3 o'clock. That's ridiculous. So looking at their cap number, okay, looking at what they look at, they have $74 million in space, Seth, this year. That's a lot of space, okay? They have coming off the books next year, Clay at 17. Okay. So
after this year or after next year? Sorry.
After 26, 27. Right. So after next year, they have Kyrie with a player option. He is going to pick that up at 42 in all likelihood. Okay. They get rid of Caleb Martin at 9. They get rid of Clay Thompson. Oh, no, that's a player option too. He's probably going to keep that. They get rid of Clay. They get rid of AJ Johnson, maybe, depending. So they get rid of 14. They get rid of about $16 million, $18 million on top of the 74. So they could roll it over if they want, which they won't. What they should do is use this year, depending on where they get this draft pick, right? They don't have any more draft picks. After this year, they don't control a pick, I believe, until 2031 of theirs, due to the Kyrie trade, due to the Daniel Gafford trade, due to all the trades. So the question is, what do you do with these guys, right? You just re-sign Gafford for 4 years. You have Derek Lively as a restricted free agent who you are absolutely going to re-sign. And so the question is, what do you do with that space? And what they should do is what any non-tanking team but isn't good enough that has $75 million in space does: rent out your damn space. Give me first-round picks. Give me second-round picks. I will give you. Give me your tired. Give me your poor. Or actually,
no poor. You know that.
Give me your tired. Give me your rich, right? That you don't want on your team, and give me a first-round pick that goes along with it. And there are teams that are Minnesota. Give me a second-round pick in Dante DiVincenzo. Rent out my space. DiVincenzo isn't playing anyway. What's the difference? That means I got $28 million under the cap instead of 14. That sounds like a great idea. Anyway, that's what they're doing. That's what I see them doing anyway. Okay. All right. So we got 7 minutes left. So number one, there was an interesting article in The Athletic today. We'll get to this more next week on whether Jacob deGrom is a Hall of Famer.
We've had this discussion.
Yeah, we need to have it again. He keeps throwing 100 miles per hour. A better article was in Pro Football Talk today that the World Cup tickets and World Cup hotels are empty.
Yep.
Nobody's coming here. And if you're an international person, do you want to come here? Do you want to be in this country this summer? I can only imagine the amount of ICE agents that will be anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? Maybe the tickets will drop that much that we will have an opportunity to go to a game. I'd go if they're like $100. I might go if they're like $200, but that's about all I'm getting at.
Well, the problem is up here, not only are they, even if they are 100 or 200, parking is $150.
Oh yeah.
So nobody's going to the games up here because there's no point.
Right. And the PATH train is $187 to get to the stadium. All right. We're in our last 5 minutes. I will go first. Rest in peace to one Ted Turner. My Lord. And you're going to say this guy wasn't a sports guy and has no business on this.
He was an owner. He owned TBS, which.
So let me tell you something about Ted Turner.
Please.
Ted Turner bought the Braves, right? And at the time, the Braves were on Channel 17, which was TBS.
Superstation TBS.
Superstation TBS. And what Ted Turner did was he got a player, and I'm trying to figure out who the player was, but he got a player to change his name or at least change his uniform to channel, and it was number 17, which is amazing back when you could do just about whatever you wanted in sports and there was nobody checking. So there was a guy that wore number 17 with the last name Channel on his uniform. So awesome. He also owned the Hawks for quite a bit of time. He was a regular at Braves playoff games, which I can't say was the same for most people in Atlanta who were not regulars at Braves playoff games. I wish I could get to have a team that is in the playoffs so many times that fans wait until the championship series to attend because they know they're going to make it past the wild card or make it past the division. Seth, I know Yankee fans are kind of like that. I want to be like that. Maybe once in my life. But rest in peace to Ted Turner, an absolute media mogul. We will not, I hate to say it, we will not see another Ted Turner. It will not happen. He started with 2 television stations and built up to a media empire where you want to know why there are Braves fans around the country? For the same reason that there are Cardinal fans around the country. It's because KMOX was the radio station that everybody heard in the 1940s and 50s. And TBS and WGN, the Cubs and the Braves, were the television station that everybody in the country saw in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. So rest in peace, big guy, Ted Turner.
He was also a big wrestling fan.
He was WCW fan.
First was NWA, that became WCW. Good. That was on It was on Saturday Night Wrestling, 6 p.m. on Saturdays. I remember it well.
But Seth didn't watch wrestling at all, knowing that.
I loved it. I watched it with my grandfather. It was great. Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard and stuff. So we didn't really touch on hockey.
Nope.
If this is it for Evgeny Malkin, or I'm forgetting the first name, Jesus.
Evgeny Malkin, you're right.
What a wonderful run it's been for him. I know he's a free agent. He's, I think, 39. He's been with Chris Letang and Sidney Crosby forever. Kind of hoping he gets one more year there. Look, they got exposed a little bit against Philly. Philly's young and fast, and Pittsburgh's not. But look, they were a double overtime game away from going to a game 7. I think he would feel if this is it for him, he goes down as a top 25 player of all time and a great ambassador to the sport.
Absolutely.
We didn't talk too much about hockey, but congrats to a lot of these younger teams.
Yep.
Buffalo, Montreal, Anaheim. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's still going to be Carolina and in Colorado when it's all said and done. But generationally, you are seeing the change this year. There are teams that have been consistently up there. Edmonton, Tampa. I mean, Tampa's lost a few in a row, but Tampa, has been
Tampa, Florida. Yep, the older. Yep.
These teams are going away, or seem to be taking a step back. And these younger teams, we talked about. Look, I think the whole hockey world, unless you have a specific team in the race, I think we all want to see Buffalo make a run here.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. But it's the hockey has been fun.
One more thing.
Thank you to everybody for the 50th birthday wishes.
Absolutely.
To the wifey for throwing a hell of a party, and for the kids for showing up, which was pretty neat, and for Sean for coming up. As always, a good time. And watching him and Labate and Rob Roush go at it one more time. Can't wait for the big.
One more thing. Congratulations to Toronto Maple Leafs. It was the only time I will ever say this that won the lottery last night. And I say this, congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs, because the Rangers did not win the lottery last night. So, yeah.
Gavin McKenna's going to Canada.
Going to Canada. All right. For Seth Kamens, who's over there, I'm Sean Palmer over here. Seth, Sean, Sports. We're 53. No, we're 50. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. I have 52
and a half.
Yeah. Talk to you all later.